Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to watch the Scramble, right? Well, you've come to the right place, as here we are in Losers Bracket Round 2 of the Pokémon Scramble. Today's battles will be Djoosah versus Domo, VirtualAdept facing Xadera, Minasunuki battling Mouse, and Diaz duking it out with Artemis. Let's start with Djoosah versus Domo. In Losers Round 2, each matchup will feature one competitor coming off a win and one competitor coming off a loss from the winner's bracket. We've seen Djoosah's evolution, but Hisuian Decidueye didn't do a whole lot for him in that battle. Let's see if he can position himself a little bit better against Domo, or if he's forced to rely once more on Henry Ford the Clang. Domo won his last match in the Losers Round, but he won it against the tournament's weakest team. Nonetheless, he was eligible to evolve, and his team now features a Beartic. In addition to significant attack stat boosts, Beartic has access to the Swift Swim ability, which means that instead of trying to rely on 2 different weather conditions, now 3 of Domo's Pokémon have Swift Swim, so his team can more effectively take advantage of the rain and not counter his own weather setup. Will Domo's newly cohesive half-rain team be able to take the win, or will Djoosah's team kick harder? Domo starts out with Glastrier and Djoosah with Spectrier, each side of this legendary horse combo. Icicle Crash gonna take out the substitute, Spectrier gonna use it again. I think Djoosah is hoping that Glastrier misses or doesn't use Icicle Crash, but right now, it's just chipping away at Spectrier every time he uses Substitute. Down to 1% now. He is faster, so he's going to get some damage in on Glastrier, but he could have just started with this instead of taking all this damage. Spectrier going to do about a third to Glastrier and give it a chilling neigh, so its attack is boosted. Domo has a lead for now. Nuzzle from the Minun comes out, and Glastrier is paralyzed. Minun going to go down to its Focus Sash and then Volt Switch away, hopefully something that resists ice. It will be Clang. That does resist the ice, but it's still going to take almost half. A Wild Charge going to chip away at Clang a little, and an Icicle Crash will bring it down to 9%. Henry Ford with another Wild Charge doesn't kill Glastrier, Glastrier doesn't paralyze, and Henry Ford the Clang is defeated. Chilling Neigh again for Glastrier, paralyzed and on low health. Alolan Muck takes the first kill for Djoosah's team. Domo brings out Emboar, and it's going to Flare Blitz the Minun, losing a small amount of damage and recoil, which is immediately healed back. Alolan Muck now out, takes a Flare Blitz, down to the red, eats its Aguav Berry. Another chunk of damage from recoil, and a Poison Jab will take Emboar to the yellow and poison it. Alolan Muck won't survive another of those hits. Flare Blitz will kill Hisuian Decidueye, as it is a grass type, but it will also kill the Emboar. Djoosah down to 2 Pokemon, Domo with 4 left. A super effective Mystical Fire will hurt the Beartic, but a super effective Throat Chop will kill Alolan Muck. Shadow sneaks the Beartic down. It's Djoosah's last chance. Ludicolo has a Scald, and it will critically hit, perhaps making up for its Focus Blast miss in an earlier round. Djoosah didn't get much value out of Spectrier, though if it was going to get one-shotted by the Icicle Crash anyway, he probably could have switched out and used something else to get the Glastrier down, as opposed to giving it a Chilling Neigh boost. He also swapped in on a Fire move with his Evolve Grass type. Unfortunately for Djoosah, getting no value out of his evolution in either of his 2 matches, Henry Ford was not able to clutch up the way Clang did in round 1, so Djoosah going to be eliminated from the tournament. Domo, never even using any rain effects to get Swift Swim boosts here, just went straight for the damage today, and that paid off well. Our second battle here in Losers Round 2 will be VirtualAdept versus Xadera. On paper, this may be the weakest opponent that VirtualAdept has faced, but I would still say this is an uphill battle for his team. The evolved Quackavall did get a little bit of work done, but his previous opponent was a bit too strong for VirtualAdept to manage. Xadera's team has evolved into Ribombee. Ribombee holds sweeping potential with Quiver Dance and 2 attacking moves, as well as some support with Sticky Web. Ribombee also fills a bit of a void in Xadera's team in being a strong special attacker, which was something the team was originally missing. Both of these teams have had very close battles thus far. Will VirtualAdept's under-evolved Pokemon bring clutch performances again, or will Xadera's newly more balanced team take the victory? Electabuzz for Xadera and Quackavall for VirtualAdept. That's not a good matchup for the water type, so VirtualAdept swapped. Azelf gets Thunderbolted, which is going to reduce its speed, Electabuzz being much more effective now that it's not taunting. Tectonic Rage is going to kill that Electabuzz, and we're going to swap to Quackavall on the Throat Chop as Scrafty comes in. Quackavall heals up a little bit, and Scrafty going to be swapped out for Ribombee. Aqua Step is going to boost Quackavall's speed and take Ribombee down to the red. Another Aqua Step will kill the Ribombee. Quackavall now at boosted speed and boosted attack thanks to Moxie. This is a potential sweeper here. Aqua Step is going to be resisted but continue to boost speed, and Giga Drain going to heal Roselia back nearly to full, bring Quackavall down to the yellow. Close combat, resisted by Roselia. The last hurrah for Quackavall, a good choice there. Roselia takes that kill and Scolipede comes in. We're going to swap to Basculegion on Xadera's side as Scolipede uses Swords Dance and gets a speed boost. Earthquake is going to take Basculegion down to the yellow, but a Last Respects with some of his allies already dead actually going to deal some damage this time, killing. It's not going to kill the Venonat thanks to the Sash, but a Skitter Smack won't kill Basculegion either. Last Respects will kill the Venonat, and VirtualAdept down to his last two Pokemon. Last Respects finishes off the Lotad. That move is incredibly strong even with only two dead Pokemon. Aqua Jet, super effective into the Rockruff, but it has a Sash. Toxic will be enough to kill the Basculegion. That was a risky choice, but it worked out. Roselia, faster than the Rockruff. We won't see another repeat of that come from behind victory from Rockruff. VirtualAdept is going to be eliminated. Xadera moving on. You can see the power of Last Respects if it's used once there's some Pokemon already dead. Electabuzz also dealing significant damage once it's not using Taunt on everything. Xadera's team came together much more effectively this time. Ribombee not able to add much value, but it wasn't needed for this round. Xadera moving on. Next up today, Minasunuki versus Mouse. Mina's loss in the last round was primarily at the hands of a ridiculous Pokemon, but Mouse doesn't have anything that's off the charts in terms of power. What Mouse's team does have is a sixth Pokemon on the team, as Milcery, though it managed to clutch up for the victory in the last round, gained significant stats and some setup potential as it evolved to Alcremie. Alcremie, a strong special attacker that can't be attracted, disabled, encored, heal blocked, taunted, or tormented thanks to its Aroma Veil ability. With their tournament lives on the line, Minasunuki faces off against Mouse. Mouse starts with Zebstrika, her fastest Pokemon, into Azelf. A Volt Switch is going to move Zebstrika to the back and bring out Alcremie as Azelf uses Psychic. That's going to hit for over half, so we have to hope Alcremie is faster or it'll go down. Alcremie does not contribute. Zebstrika coming back out. We know that's faster. It lands a Thunderbolt. Psychic is going to kill the Zebstrika. Azelf getting some severe damage in. Dusclops we know is a very slow Pokemon, but Azelf is going to leave the battlefield. Taunt is going to stop Ponyta from using any setup moves, but Dusclops also seems to want to taunt multiple times. That's starting to get concerning. Okay, it stops doing it. It's not Xadera here. Nightshade hurts the Ponyta. Will-O-Wisp is going to miss the Dusclops, using Blunder Policy to increase its speed even further. This Ponyta, incredibly fast. It's going to set up Evasion, which Dusclops stops with a taunt. One taunt is a good idea. Multiple taunts is not a good idea. No, Dusclops, I just said don't do that. Ponyta, boost its speed to the maximum value, 4 times natural, as Dusclops continues to taunt. I'm really not sure what's going on with that. The taunt is finally over, and Ponyta uses a double team. Taunt is going to land again, stopping more double teams from coming out. Flame Charge dealing 10% at a hit. Dusclops just needs to go back to using Nightshade. It knew what... There we go! It uses a Nightshade, but it misses. That's not good. Horn Drill is actually something that Dusclops is immune to. That is normally an instant KO move, but Dusclops being immune is valuable there. Dusclops has finally figured out that it needs to attack. It uses the Nightshades. It finally kills the Ponyta, and Dusclops going to go into the back. Minior is going to Shell Smash. That's going to increase its attack, special attack, and speed by 2 stages, and the White Herb is going to be wasted as we swap out. Meteor Beam going to set up Soul Rock for a special attack boost, and on the next turn it will drop the damage. That will be kind of wasted into Azelf as the special defense of Soul Rock has been reduced. Minior faster in its shields down form than its shields up, but it's still fast enough to get to outspeed the Soul Rock. Nidorino comes in as Minior Shell Smashes again, but without the benefit of the White Herb, it's going to have lowered defenses. Shadow Claw is going to hit it for more than half, and a Sucker Punch will take the Minior down. Great choice there from Mouse. Cinccino going to tidy up, raising its speed and attack as Nidorino misses thanks to its own hustle ability, but Cinccino misses a triple axle. Poison Jab lands on Cinccino, bringing it to the red and poisoning it. Lairon going to be swapped in. That's going to be immune to Poison Jab. Good choice there. Not a good choice to continue using Poison Jab. Stealth Rock goes up. Return going to deal very little damage. I don't think this Nidorino can beat this Lairon with the leftovers up. Shadow Claw going to miss. Lairon continuing to attack with heavy slams brings the Nidorino down into the red. At this point, Mouse just sacrificing Nidorino to get something else in without taking damage. Dusclops going to hurt from the Stealth Rocks, but otherwise still be pretty decent here. Iron Defense going up. That's not going to matter against Dusclops as it can't use Body Slam and it won't be dealing physical damage thanks to Will-O-Wisp and Nightshade. Using Will-O-Wisp again isn't particularly effective unless you thought Lairon was going to swap, and Lairon seems to think that boosting its defense is the best idea here, but Mouse continuing to throw out Will-O-Wisps. Heavy Slam going to deal a little bit of damage. Mouse, I don't know if there's no other choice here or what's going on, but these heavy slams are taking a toll. Dusclops gets defeated as Lairon, a massive defense boost on the field. Leaf Storm hits with special attack. If Lairon doesn't kill the Dartrix, which it doesn't, it will likely burn to death. No, the leftovers keep it alive. A Leaf Storm misses, and Body Press will finish off the Dartrix. Mina, without ever even bringing Palafin in, manages to take this victory. I'm not sure what was going on with Dusclops there. We've seen a couple of times that Taunt has not been the best of moves for the bot. Nightshade, there were plenty of uses left. Wyatt went for Will-O-Wisps over and over instead of doing anything that could make an impact. I'm not certain, but unfortunately, it is going to mean that Mouse is eliminated. Minasunuki will be moving on. Our final battle of the day will be Diaz versus Artemis. Diaz's team underperformed to expectations in the previous round. The newly evolved Dragalge made some awkward choices when it came to move selection. We'll see if that continues or if Diaz can right the ship here. Artemis' victory in the last round was against 2 legendary Pokemon, so facing off against 1 legendary dog certainly won't scare her. She now has a Garbodor that is going to be a bulky, high-defense Pokemon that has a Rocky Helmet, Aftermath, some Spikes, Pain Split, and still retains the ability to remove an enemy's item with Corrosive Gas. So that Pokemon is not going to deal a lot of damage offensively, but it will hang around for a long time. It has the ability to heal itself through Pain Split, and it could be a significant impact. Here goes Diaz versus Artemis. Artemis starting off with Malamar, Diaz with Dragalge. Knockoff is going to take away the leftovers from Dragalge as a Sludge Bomb hits Malamar. Another knockoff, just using it for decent damage as a Draco Meteor hits Malamar and reduces Dragalge's special attack. Diaz gonna swap to Entei, which takes a superpower pretty effectively. Malamar gonna boost its stats off of that. Sacred Fire still enough to kill as Malamar was already in the red. Exploud comes in. Sacred Fire will take about half off of Exploud and burn it, but Boom Burst is going to hit Entei into the red. Entei going to do something to Garbodor. It's going to be Sacred Fire, about a third and a burn to the Garbodor, so that's going to be inconvenient. Throw comes in on a Gunk Shot, which is not going to deal very much. Leftovers going to heal up. Gunk Shot gonna hit Throw again, no poison, and Throw gonna use the opportunity to bulk up against this Garbodor that doesn't deal a lot of damage. That's one way to handle walls. Garbodor going to throw out some spikes as an Ice Punch comes in and Rocky Helmet hurts Throw. You'd be better off bulking up there as it continues to throw out spikes. Another knockoff is going to kill the Garbodor, but Aftermath is going to hurt the Throw as Garbodor dies. Leftovers heals up a little. Exploud comes in, and Diaz swaps to Entei. That is going to kill the Entei on the 2 spikes that came out, so Garbodor, after its death, not only Aftermath, but leaving the spikes around is going to help. Sandy Shocks gets a boost from its item, and Flash Cannon will kill, and Uxie takes a Thunderbolt. U-Turn is going to bring out the Kilowattrel. Uxie going to come back in on a Power Gem. It survives at the very least, but Power Gem going to go first and kill the Uxie. Sandy Shocks taking a kill. Kilowattrel. Strike? Oh no! Sandy Shocks resists that, and then Power Gem is going to kill. Nidorina comes out. Super effective Earth Power, but the Sash is going to keep it alive. Toxic onto the Sandy Shocks. Is Sandy Shocks faster? It is, and a Thunderbolt is going to kill the Nidorina. That will end Artemis's run as Diaz takes the victory, suffering only 1 loss. Unfortunately for Artemis, that Supersonic Sky Strike that has really done work for her in the past landed into something that was resistant to it. Sandy Shocks, being an electric and ground type, meant that was just not going to cut the mustard. Garbodor did manage to do a little bit of work, but Diaz found the solution there by bringing out something that could set up on such a defensively oriented Pokémon, and Diaz's team pulled out a strong victory here today against Artemis. So your winners today, moving on to Losers Bracket Round 3, Domo, Xadera, Minasunuki, and Diaz. Next time, Losers Round 2 concludes with Liquid Courage versus Murder Bear, Sage versus Aria Chiba, Dutch versus Molotov, and X-Drop Dead Z versus Faded Oasis.